Okay, so just got out of seeing Strange Darling, and this was an interesting one. I predict a lot of people will absolutely hate it. Um, I don't know how many people will love it because, I mean, there's a lot to like for sure, but it feels like, and it feels like one scene in a movie that was stretched out into feature length territory. Um, and it's not boring or anything like that. It just can be definitely unfulfilling if you require much of a story or much of any sort of setup and resolution. I mean, yeah, there is setup and resolution, but it's just to the scene being an hour and a half or whatever it was. Um, I mean, I could see that. I could see with the events that take place in this movie easily covering like 15 minutes of another movie, and that's neither a good or bad thing. That is just the way it is with this movie, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I makes me want to research the actual story that this was supposedly taken from. Um, there was one point in the movie where I was actually thinking that it kind of inspired in my head um, a scene that I could write in my own screenplay, but I would change things up, and then the movie kind of did what I was thinking would have been an interesting thing to do, and it did a really great job of subverting expectations. Often, it kind of kept you on your brain toes. You know, watching things, thinking about the characters, thinking about what they're saying. The way that it's broken down into these chapters, which I like when a movie is separated into chapters many a times. I think some movies tend to just do it just because it's just something to do or something like that. But I think in this instance, it kind of makes sense because it makes you think about where you are in the timeline of things, and the editing, how it deconstructs the story into something that cannot be straightforward at all, or else it'll be too bland. I think with with the way that it was told, the way that it was edited and put together, it was definitely pre-thought out to be this way. It wasn't just they didn't just decide to edit it this way afterwards. So it definitely worked in this film a lot. Not much to say. I mean, there's not much to cover in the movie. If an idea of a 15-minute stretch of any other serial killer type of movie stretched out into 90 minutes with some very stylistic everything, then you'll like it. If you need more story, if you need characters to almost root for, seemingly every character in this is a little off the wall. There's several moments where I was wondering to myself, is this one of those moments that a character is acting a certain way and it feels weird because they should be acting differently? Or are they acting like how maybe someone really does act in real life, and it's off-putting because you don't see it that often in movies, because you see the way things are done in movies and you don't get to experience the way certain people do things in real life. I think if there's things that you could really latch onto and just say that you hate it because of this, then you're going to have a field day with this. But if you take these things and think about them in a logical way and say, well, maybe this is how these people would act in these situations. Maybe it is how they really acted in the real situation. Maybe I don't know how much of this is actually real or not. But hey, I liked it enough to go home and do some research on it. and kind of learn more about what it was truly based off of. But it's very hard to recommend. But I don't know if I would say give it a chance if you're into like a serial killer R-rated type of film that is a little quirky but interesting nonetheless. Then you definitely give it a chance, because there's really no way to tell if someone's going to like this or not. It's very hard to know who to really recommend it to, but I liked it. I don't know how much yet. It's going to be a very hard movie to review. I think it's going to be one of those things that you just have to focus on. It does things the way it wants to do, and how well does it do them? I think really well. So until the next one, I'll catch you later.